So I've been teaching for, I think, 7 or 8 years now.
I've been teaching for 21 years, but do not tell anyone. People still think I'm young.
Total for about 10 years.
What it means to be a good teacher is to be dynamic, in my opinion, meaning that every student is their own unique individual, and my job, as I see it, is to find out what motivates that individual person, and then figure out ways for them to be best motivated. And for every single person, it's usually very different.
I think in order to be a good teacher, first of all, you have to love what you're doing. If you do not love teaching, you should not teach. It will be terrible for you and the students. And also, I feel like you need to be creative and you need to be inspiring and you need to make an effort to make connections with your students. If you don't love what you're doing and you aren't enthusiastic about what you're teaching, no one is going to want to learn from you.
I think the first thing you have to have is patience. That's probably the first quality that you have to have, which you have a certain amount of patience, but sometimes it's difficult at times. And then I really think you just have to listen to your students. That's probably the two greatest things, because if you know your content, that's not the issue. It's just dealing with individuals, and every kid is different. That's the main thing you have to kind of be conscious of.
That gets trickier. I feel like good students need to be students that are willing to take a leap and participate and get involved in what's going on. And I feel like they need to make an effort to be extra responsible and to kind of take initiative and learn about things on their own.
A good student doesn't have to be like the brightest or the most intellectual kid. It just has to be a student who is willing to listen and willing to work hard. That's pretty much it.
So I think on the daily, students go above and beyond my expectations, and it's just the students that I find to be more driven in what they do. I guess more in the sense that they find something that they really enjoy doing, so they tend to pursue it, and the end result is just something really special, something that, while it may not be seen by everyone, is still really interesting and also innovates and pushes this program forward. Can't be underestimated the ability for students to come up with ideas that move this class to the next level of what other students find to be viable options for their projects.
I feel like it happens all the time, but I'm always really excited when students go and do something with my subject outside of the classroom. Like when I hear that students traveled to Costa Rica and worked in an orphanage over the summer. I had another student that went down to Argentina in between high school and college and taught English to 51 students in one classroom. Those kinds of things always inspire me and say, hey, look, they're really making use of what I taught them.
There's been a few of them. I think it's like a couple of kids that I have in mind. I've taught chemistry. I've taught a couple of the subjects, but I think sometimes the chemistry is difficult. So I've had a couple of kids in the past who started out on a rocky road that they weren't doing very well, and they really put the time and the effort in and got extra help and just saw a marked improvement in their academics, and that was really big.
So the difference between students when I started and students now, I think they're about the same. It's just personally my growth as a teacher and educator. So I started off, I worked in television. I didn't plan on becoming a teacher, so I had zero teaching experience, zero teaching classes. I knew video production. I didn't know education. So through taking courses and getting my master's degree and things of that nature, I think I've been able to grow. So looking back, I can kind of identify, again, I just answered the question about like what makes a good student, and that's that personal student and finding their motivation in each individual. And I can look back and see my missteps in that regard, like thinking, hey, I'm the teacher, this is the class, I'm running the class, I'm in charge. And to me, for me and my personality and my philosophy, that doesn't really jive. So taking an approach which is more giving ownership to the students over the class and their projects and their destiny in the classroom.
Honestly, I know people will say that they're very different, but I feel like deep down they're not. Maybe they were more silent in the seat or in the classroom than they were a long time ago, but I think underneath they're all the same. I feel like they're waiting for someone to inspire them, and they're waiting to kind of see what the next steps are in their life. And I feel like the same patterns repeat as far as what kids are concerned about or what kids are interested in. And yeah, I feel like deep down they're kind of the same.
We talk about this a lot, and I don't know if it has to do with distractions or whatnot, but I think kids are more distracted now than they were even 10 years ago. And I think, again, I don't know if it's just the cell phones, I don't know if it's just culture, but I think, and it's not every kid, but I think they don't have as much focus as they used to be honest.
My name is Max Masterson, and I'm a junior.
I'm Maddie Chu, and I'm a junior.
I'm in grade 11, Alec Croto.
Getting your work done, I guess. Getting your work done, behaving, doing good. Yep.
To be a good student, I think it's like getting all your work done, but still like living your life without, I don't know, letting school like overrule your life.
I guess it means to like be always on top of your work and always be willing to like go deeper and try to learn a lot.
Well, I'm like a really hands-on learner, and so like basically anyone that like doesn't just like strictly teach from like a packet or like just from the book is like good for me, or someone who's like friendly and personable, like that I'm friends with or friendly with, is better for me. So there's a lot of people in Pentucket that are like that. So
There was this guy who taught this class named video production. I think he teaches at Merrimack College, and not sure what his name is. I think it's Vaughn something, maybe.
Well, it was freshman year, and I can't say her name. Okay, I didn't like her class because of what she taught, but I liked it because of like how she was as a person. She made it really fun. And that was like the only class I've ever liked.
yeah, it's not okay. So like this year I took journalism, and I really liked that class because like it was like really like free, and like you got to do like whatever you wanted, and like there wasn't like a lot of like harsh like rules in the class that you like needed to do and like stick by. So like I really liked that because I could do like what I wanted and make the class like what I wanted.
Again, his name is Vaughn, and it's very interesting. I also think the class named Production of Video Advanced is pretty good.
I don't think there's enough diversity. And like our school doesn't portray the real world. So I think a lot of kids have a hard time like going into the real world and experiencing a lot of stuff because they're used to like this cookie cutter idea of what people are. And I don't think we have that.
I guess like the fact that like a lot of the buildings are really old, like we can't exactly do a lot about that because like, you know, it's like a lot to like build a new building and stuff like that. But like if there were to be another building or something like that, personally I think that would be better because like there would be there's a lot of technology that we don't have in the school that's like really great for like learning and stuff like that. And so it would be better to like incorporate some of that stuff into our building.
Probably the building, because it's old, and I guess you need a newer building to do newer things, which I think would be good, so we could actually learn better things.
My name is Mr. Bart. 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 My name is Mr. Bart. 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 Bart.